special treat today. I forgot what district you're from. From the 84th district. We have a beautiful young lady here who ran for office the last cycle. She did not win, but she put up one hell of a fight. And she is now on the city council. Is that correct? The first trans person in Ohio to be on the city council. But not the last, that's right. Please keep that applause rolling and welcome Ariane Children.
Hello. Let me see if I can get this adjusted without dropping it, or I'm a pacer, so I might just hold if that's all right. Well, I want to tell you a little bit about my background and where I came from. It won't take more than a couple of seconds of hearing my voice for you guys to realize that I am not exactly an Ohio native. So I came from the mountains of southwestern Virginia. I am the daughter of a coal miner, the granddaughter of a coal miner, and the great-granddaughter of a coal miner. Yeah. I come from a family of Sunday school teachers, and I am a former Sunday school teacher myself. So, needless to say, being raised in a conservative Southern environment, I had to do a whole lot of pushing down. Nobody locked that closet door harder than I locked it myself. And eventually I found that closet doors are meant to be broken off the hinges. So now, nearing 10 years ago, I made the decision that I was going to stop living for everyone else, and I was finally going to live for me. Now, when I did that, I believed all of the lies that they tell us. You'll never be happy. You're never going to find anybody. You're going to be alone the rest of your life, miserable and outcast. Well, let me tell you, not only am I happier than I've ever been, see me pre-transition, there is no way you'd have gotten me up on a stage, I can tell you that. I ended up meeting the love of my life, and I've been married for 6 years now. I am proudly serving as the first, but definitely not the last, trans person to sit on a city council in the state of Ohio, and only 2 out trans elected officials in the state. So let me tell you how we got there. See, a few years ago, well, a couple years, maybe it's 3, I don't know, politics, it all runs together. Yeah. But the person who would become my opponent is the one who introduced the Ohio drag ban that's just been reintroduced if you keep an eye. Yeah. And I was determined that she was not going to run unopposed. So I started asking around to everybody, do we have somebody that can run against her? Anybody that can run against her? I'll tell you who I wanted to be the absolute last choice to run against her. Me. I was not interested in doing it. But every time I kept asking, I got no. Nobody wanted to try because we are in the most conservative district in the state of Ohio. Nobody wanted to do it. So finally, when I decided that if I was going to ask who's going to run against her, the correct place to be asking that was looking in a mirror. And so we launched that campaign to take it on because our whole opinion is if I'm going to have people in our state capitol that's going to be attacking who we are, then we're going to actively run against them. We are going to actively show them that trans women, that trans people are not to be trifled with, that we do not back down, and we sure as hell never give up. So I want to remind everybody, because more than 50 years out from Stonewall at this point. And I don't want us to ever lose our connection, because I don't know if anybody's noticed, but things are not looking great for the trans community right now. Every day there's a new bill that gets introduced to attack who we are, to attack any mention of us anywhere. So we need to learn from the mothers of the movement. There is not a time that you'll hear me speak on trans issues that you will not hear me mention some names. And these are names that you need to have. If you don't already have them burned into your memory, have them burned into your memory now. Marsha P. Johnson. Sylvia Rivera. These are all, and let me tell you, you can go through, take some time and look, but these are people, right now we're out here openly in a park, and it's bad, but we're out here. Take it back a little more than 50 years ago. These were homeless LGBT people on the streets. These were people who the only place they had was a dirty nightclub that was controlled by the mob. That was the closest to a safe space they got, and even that wasn't safe because one night the police decided to raid it. And who did they go after first when they went into that bar? They went after the trans people, they went after the drag queens. They're easy targets. And it had happened before, and people had dealt with it, but this night, it was different. As people were being ushered outside the doors of Stonewall, something broke that night. And this time, they decided they were going to fight back. And a large portion of those were trans people, trans women, and I might add trans women of color who stood up for us. Now, when they launched that battle, that was not one night, it was multiple nights. They had no reason to believe they would win. They were taking on a battle that was almost destined for failure the moment they started it. But they didn't care. Because, see, it was no longer about winning the approval of the people that were oppressing them. It was no longer about making the people who oppressed see their value. It was a moment that we need to be having amongst ourselves right now, where the people at Stonewall didn't seek approval because they had their own approval. They saw themselves, probably in a lot of cases for the first time. They decided they were enough and they were worth fighting for. So every one of you, I want you to understand today, especially our trans community that's being targeted, whether you're 90 years old out there or out somewhere, whether you're, just coming into learning who you are or you transitioned years ago. You are worth it. You are worth fighting for. And if you have the ability, if you can do it, stop letting other people speak for you, speak for us. If you see a bigot running in your hometown, pull paperwork. Run against them. If they want to talk about you, talk about your community, make them talk to you. Because here's the thing that everybody needs to realize. Standing around waiting for somebody else to stand up for us just isn't going to happen anymore. We've seen it. It's not going on. It is time to take that Stonewall spirit of standing up for ourselves, of understanding that pride is not a parade. Pride is not just an opportunity to buy a new brightly colored outfit or to get a pin with a rainbow flag on it. Pride is an opportunity to stand up. It is rebellion. It is revolution. It is the opportunity of saying, I am not asking for my rights because by God, I'm taking them. So I'm going to ask all of you this year, be involved in your local pride. Go out there, but remember what it's about. Remember to speak. Use your voice because it's the most powerful tool you have. I talk to people every day that do not like who I am. And that is absolutely fine because I like who I am. And that's what you guys need to remember. And you have a community here. The good thing about the LGBT community is we are experts at building our own community, at building our own family. So you reach out if you need the support. You have groups here that are for that very purpose, to provide you support, to provide you encouragement, and understand that you never need to settle for less than you deserve. And there is absolutely no civil rights that you don't deserve. We are equal. We are going to fight. So understand when you're getting out there that this is a fight. It's not going to be won overnight, people. We didn't get into this overnight, no matter how much it seems. We've seen our rights start sliding back over time. Now we have to be the wall that says it doesn't go any further, and we're going to keep pushing. And there's going to be this group of all of us here that are going to push right along with you. Thank you guys for coming out.
Thank you, everyone. She is such a powerful speaker. I love listening to her speak. Yes. Woo!